to Lviv in western Ukraine and speak to Sofiya Fedyna. She's a lawmaker from the European Solidarity Party in Ukraine. She's also a volunteer for Ukrainians, for the Ukrainian army. Sofiya, thank you so much for joining us on this news hour. We heard there the conditions that Semir and so many people in Kiev are experiencing. You're in Lviv, it's the west of the country. Are you going through a similar situation right now?
First of all, thank you for invitation and thank you that you care and cover the situation in Ukraine. Second, my city, native city of Lviv, 70 kilometers from Polish border, was also under attacks, missile attacks of Moscow Federation. And unfortunately, 1.5 million people are sitting without electricity. And in many cities, we do not have a heating system, and also we do not have water supplies. But if we talk about the feelings of the people, I think the moment the missiles are getting to any territory, the moment when the light is getting off, everyone is saying just one word: bastards. And every person is getting more and more angry towards the Moscow Federation because they are not attacking the military infrastructure or military objects. They are attacking infrastructure that makes convenient the life of the normal civilian citizens. And actually, I do not think that this is only a question of Ukrainian territorial integrity and how we are going to live through this hard winter, because it's really cold already. But this is a question how we are going to stop Moscow Federation with all the joint forces of the civilized world. Because nowadays, Moscow Federation, Putin, Prigozhin, and other terrorists, they are posing a threat to the international security. And if Ukraine collapses, some country or the community of the countries will be definitely next.
So, Sofiya, what are you asking the international community to do? Because many would argue that they have already obviously given a lot in terms of military support, in condemning what is happening in your country right now and Russia's actions in Ukraine. But what else do you want to see the international community do?
Of course, I agree with the president that we need more military supplies. But actually, why do we have such a big missile aggression from Moscow Federation towards Ukraine? Because on the front line, our military are getting more and more successful, and they are getting back the Moscow army to its Moscow swamp. The second question is that we are asking today for the help to reconstruct the infrastructure, especially electricity supplies. And as I've got to know today, it was already called upon the G7 Ministers for Foreign Affairs meeting to discuss how the countries can help Ukraine to reconstruct its infrastructure, because Ukraine has to survive and has to go on. And I would say that this is a critical situation with electricity supplies, not only for the hospitals, not only for the critical infrastructure, but that is a big problem for the volunteers who are bringing supplies to the front line, who are getting all those supplies. So we are, as a civilian people, we are like begging for Ukrainian army and for their possibility to fight for Ukrainian to liberate our territory. But the third point, and I am calling upon that we need to find out more possibilities to stop the Moscow Federation. For example, to cut off Moscow Federation from any banking system, to cut off it from IP address system, to stop any gas, oil supplies from Moscow Federation, and just to stop the dialogues in different, maybe not the dialogue, but the cooperation in different spheres. Unfortunately, the citizens of Moscow Federation do not feel the problems of this war. They used to live in a very, very bad conditions, and Putin does not care what his people are feeling. So the moment people are not feeling all the problems of the war, they are going to support Putin further on. And we have to stop anything that helps Putin to go on with his work. And one more very important point. Yesterday, one of the representatives of the terrorist army of Wagner brought to the Euro Parliament a sledgehammer with the drops of blood on it. He was trying to threaten the European Parliament. So I think this poses a threat to all the civilized countries. And that is definitely should start what we do to expel Moscow Federation from the United Nations, from the G8, and further on to think how to stop it in any possible way.
Sofiya, really good to speak to you. Please stay safe. Thank you so much for speaking
Thank
to
you.
us.